I'm Jeff Myers, and welcome to Elgin Today. On this edition, Elgin High School Athletic Director Paul Pennington, himself a 1991 class of Elgin High, tells us about the extensive work being done on 58-year-old Memorial Field, the home field for both Elgin and Larkin football-wise. Police Department Commander Jim BISCEGLIE will tell us about the city's Light Up the Day parades, which have lifted the spirits of all of Elgin's neighborhoods. Elgin Mayor David Captain has an extensive conversation with us outside City Hall about the state's May extension of the stay-at-home order. And Mayor Captain tells us masks are now needed when in public spaces, such as inside a grocery store. We will hear from Larkin class of 2018 basketball great Jalen Shaw as he announced his intention to play college basketball for National Power St. Bonaventure. And the son of EHS grad and Elgin Sports Hall of Fame member, Mr. Jess Henderson, JADEN Henderson, makes known his intention to continue his college and play basketball at Elgin Community College. We'll have these stories and more on this edition of Elgin Today.
As a former student athlete here, I got to play on Memorial Field, and now I get to see our current student athletes play on this field, and it's a joy and a privilege to be able to be the athletic director of Elgin High School. When Larkin was brought into existence, Elgin and Larkin shared this field. When Streamwood High School was built, Streamwood, Elgin, and Larkin shared this field. And so it's gotten a lot of use over the years. It's gotten a lot of history, and a lot of great former student athletes have been able to play on this field and showcase their talents and their just their athletic ability here at Elgin High School.
As we look in the backdrop, we see the press box is gone, but those stands there. Tell me what you're going to do with that.
So the stands, the home stands, are just getting a little bit of update with handrails and some new concrete steps. We've got new visitor bleachers that are going up too, so they're pouring a concrete slab there. Just taking some care after the wear since 1962. It's just getting a lot of care this time around.
No question about that. Now the scoreboard will move, is that right?
It is. We're just taking it off the field. It sits on the field now, but it's going to be moved back just north of the track as you see it on the curb there.
And the monument that we know, that will move?
Yep, monument. So you won't see the monument like you would have seen it. The monument's going to be tucked away over in the corner, but still highly visible, because they're going to build a walkway that goes right around to it from the ticket booth over to the concession stand, and you're going to pass right by the memorial. Just like every high school going from grass to a field turf, knowing that multiple sports, multiple activities, not just athletics, but we've got marching band showcase that comes out here just to be able to portray and put on display some of the fine efforts without having to worry about the weather from the night before.
Sure.
Getting out there with field turf. With having the season we had last fall, we're hoping that we can capitalize on that. But we're just proud to be able to have something for our student athletes and the city of Elgin. I mean, you drive by Memorial Field now, and everybody that drives on 19 can look down and see that Memorial Field. This is Elgin High School, and it's just a great place for athletic or any type of activity you would want to see. We're looking to host everything.
This will be done when?
We're hoping to get it back August 1st.
All right, August 1st. And again, when you played here in 1990, as we wrap things up, it was always emotional, wasn't it? That great game against Larkin, 21-20.
Yeah.
Tell me about that for a second.
Yeah, we had to come back. We came back in that fourth quarter and put it into overtime. Coach Stevens decided to go for two. We didn't make that two, and Larkin won it on a 1-yard dive by Kendrick Thomas, as I recall. But there were a lot of good athletes on that field, a lot of good memories on that field. Those that I cherish, even though it ended on a sour note for Elgin High School.
It's a great part of Elgin history, no matter what, as you know, Paul. We appreciate that. And anything else for us?
No, that's it. I think we got it all. We'll just come back out August when we get it back.
The third week of the season you're playing here, third week?
Well, Elgin High School will play week 3. Larkin has their first 2 home games are at home here. So we're looking to open this up and draw a lot of people. For our next story, let's travel to Elgin's History Museum on Park Boulevard, where they are looking for unique items from you.
Hi, I'm Beth NAWARA. I'm the curator at the Elgin History Museum, and we are collecting items that people are using in Elgin during the COVID-19 pandemic. We are looking for masks that people made, signs that they have in their windows, signs that businesses have put in their windows, anything that you think helps to share the story of the pandemic as it is occurring now. You can contact the museum or just drop it off at our front door. We are usually here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, sometimes Saturdays, and that's about the best way we can get it. It's 360 Park Street. We're closed right now, but someone is usually here in the afternoons, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They can drop stuff off. Ring the doorbell.
And for this story, as you know, the 43rd annual Elgin Valley Foxtrot will not happen in normal form this year, but we check in with Tim Williams, who's come up with an idea to help keep it running.
Yes. Jeff, thanks for having me out again to talk about the Foxtrot. As I was out a couple months ago to tell you that the Kenyon Farm Runners were going to take the Foxtrot and run it this year, the city decided that they were going to take a break from doing special events, and we wanted to keep it going, so we decided that we'd take it over with support from the city and the Elgin Lions Club and F3 Running. However, it's taken a turn. COVID-19 has affected us as it has everyone else, and the running community is not going to get to do the Foxtrot as we know it. But the good news is we're going to continue the Foxtrot, and instead of doing it the way we've done it with the format of the 10 mile and the 5K, we're now going to do it as a virtual race on May 31st, between May 31st and June 14th. So instead of coming out and running the event as we planned to, what we're going to do is we're going to send all the people who have registered their finisher medal, their t-shirt, their goodie bag, and have them run the race sometime between May 31st and June 14th on their own. And they can decide to run the course, which is out here, or they can run their own 10 mile or 5K route, and then they go online, they register their time, they get a finisher certificate, and they'll also know how they finished in relation to people in their age group or overall. So they'll even know what place they finished, which is kind of cool.
That's great. Now to get all that package, they have to be in place by May 11th.
Yes, yeah. Registration still remains open, and it'll actually remain open until May 31st. But if you want to receive your packet by May 31st, you have to register by May 11th. However, registration remains open at the same price until May 31st, and then you'll get your package. Let's say you register on May 31st, you'll get your package by June 30th. They'll get a nice finisher's medal. It'll have the Foxtrot logo on it, and it can also be engraved at Anderson Trophies, downtown Elgin, if they want to get engraved with their time on it. And there'll be hopefully a lot of people who will go down to see Dave and get that done. And again, this is the 43rd running of the Foxtrot. It's a real Foxtrot. Next year will be number 44. So we're going to welcome everybody back next year. Our tentative date is June 13th, and we're going to have the 44th annual Elgin Valley Foxtrot on that date.
Wonderful.
ElginFoxtrot.com. Register through there. ElginFoxtrot.com. Registration, I said, is still open. The price is the same as it's been through March. We didn't raise the price. And if they want to still be involved in the Foxtrot, come on out and get out there and run it anytime after May 31st to June 14th.
On their own course, on their own place, but they can run the race.
Absolutely they can. They can come out and run. We're running along the river. The course goes up through the north end neighborhoods and then comes back south on the river. So pick your own 10 miles. Could be our course, could be your own, but get out there and do it and be a participant in the Foxtrot for the 43rd consecutive running.
A special segment. We are outside City Hall with Elgin Mayor David Captain, and Mayor Captain, we've taken this opportunity. It's a very different period of our life, certainly going on right now with COVID-19. So we want to get together with you, talk about masks, and talk about everything we need to know about this, sir. We appreciate you taking time out to talk to us.
Jeff, happy to do it. And this has been going on now for almost 2 months, and we are entering the month of May, and we're going to be looking at another 30 days.
Yep.
Of extreme conditions. This is a defining moment for everybody. This is something that the history books will write about. This will be something that will be part of a life history for all of us. And I look back at September 11th, how much that changed everybody's lives. this is going to be the same thing. We won't come out of this and be the same as we were. And I think, you know, we're talking about masks, we're talking about things and protocols, and I want to make sure everybody knows, even though I'm not wearing a mask, we're meeting the protocol, and Jeff's not either. We're 6 feet apart, and we're outside. We didn't do it inside because we would have to wear a mask based on the new criteria for the state of Illinois. And yeah, if you're going inside and you're going to be in a place where you can't maintain 6 feet, you have to wear a mask. And we think that's a good thing. We want to prevent people from becoming sick, and we want to prevent as many people from having to go through the virus as possible. And we're following medical procedures, we're following what doctors tell us to do, and I think that's the right approach. It's a lot of anecdotal things out there and remedies and ways that you can avoid things, and people say, well, I'm not worried about getting it. Well, you should be. And we talk about young people, and we've just gone through, I've done a number of videos to talk to people about to be safe with that as well. Even though you may not have the virus, you can transmit it. And we'll talk a little bit today about what the new requirements are for masks, what the governor's 30-day stay-at-home ruling is going to mean to us. They're starting to see some soft openings for communities in different parts of the state and different states. So we'll talk a little bit about that too, and what's it mean to Elgin.
We will do it. There's our cloth mask right here. We're
Yep.
showing you got yours right there.
Yep.
Now we know, and what we want to stress is a lot of folks, well, I got a family of 2, I got a family of 4, remind us where we can get those masks, make those masks sure at
Yes.
home, but there's a lot of different ways, isn't it?
Yes,
We must have them.
my wife Sandy made this one. This is
Ah.
homemade mask.
I put them an order for 30 more,
And
all right?
we've had, there we go. And so you don't have to go out and try to find the N95 masks. In fact, it'd be preferable for the public not to have those. Those belong to first responders and people that are working in the hospital. They need them. And you can make these things. There are a number of ways to do it. You can go online and just ask about masks. The City of Elgin website, thecityofelgin.org/masks, has a number of ways you can make one at home. It's just a matter even about taking an old t-shirt and pulling it up over your head to be able to do that. And as of May 1st, if you go into a public space, that means the grocery store, Walgreens, if you're shopping at Walmart, you have to have a mask. And it'll be up to the department store owners or the store owners to alert you to that. And if there's a problem, we will have an Elgin police officer come out and talk to you to make sure that this gets done. That's how important this is for all of us. We want to make sure that everybody's safe.
No question about that. We saw it towards the end of April. I thought almost everybody in store working, like you mentioned, had a mask, and almost
Yep.
everybody going in was. They realized that. Did you have a website we could check on that?
Yes, thecityofelgin.org/masks. We'll talk about how to make masks, and you can always go to the City of Elgin and get the latest information as to what we're seeing.
We prefer cloth, do we not, sir?
Yes, and they recommend cotton.
Cotton.
It's because it's easy to clean. They recommend that you have a couple or 2 or 3 so you can clean it and wash it. And very simple, we just wash it up, put it in the laundry, hang it up.
That's your Larkin one, but your wife made one old maroon t-shirt.
That's
She made
correct.
one.
Well, I'm wearing my maroon shirt today, so I have to be politically correct for all of those things.
Well, we appreciate all that information on these trying times. We
Yes.
want to make sure, folks, as we talk with you in May, most everybody's done it, but Census 2020 is still so important to us. We want to get that done, don't we?
Yes.
Send in.
Yeah, the census is still part of what we need to do. You can still do that. You don't have to interact with anybody. You can do it if you have access to a computer. You can do it on a computer. It only takes 5 or 10 minutes. It's not a very difficult thing at all. If you don't do that, in the future, somebody's going to come out to your house, and they'll be ringing your doorbell and find out. It's important that we all get counted. It's extremely important for the City of Elgin. This will pay us dividends for a decade, long after I'm not mayor, trust me. And it's going to pay dividends for this city, and it's going to be critical for us. And we need to do that. We're only about 60% counted in the City of Elgin right now, and we were trying to get almost to 100%. So we're going to continue to work hard to do that. Kane County's also working on their portion. They want to make sure that we all get counted, and it's extremely important for us to do that. Business still has to go on. And let me touch a little bit on some of the changes we've had to make internally at City Hall. Our city council meetings are done now electronically, and we had to, the governor had to allow special dispensation for communities that were going to do this and want to continue to hold our meeting. His recommendation was not to hold them at all. But we have certain business that we have to do. We have to pay the bills. We have some certain projects that we have to vote on. I had to sign 8 or 10 papers today on just the bond issue that we completed. What we're doing is in City Hall at the dais, there are 4 people. Myself, the city manager, Mr. Cogley, and the city clerk, and Sue, the sound person, and our video person is there to have that. And Anthony, our security guard, is downstairs. So we have 5 people that are there already. We're only allowed 10. So anything more than that becomes a challenge for us. And how do we go about holding public meetings? And let me tell you, as a story, you know, I can't go through this without a story, and how people continue to work and continue to do the right thing. At our last city council meeting, we had a bond issue that was important to the city of Elgin, and we have to public notice that. It has to be a public hearing, and in order for that to happen, we have to allow public access. No individuals showed up, but during the course of the meeting, the door at the back of the council chambers where the metal detector is would swing shut, and the door would close. Our city attorney, Bill Cogley, got up 3 or 4 times during the course of the meeting, walked to the back of the room, and opened the door. And I asked city manager, why is Bill doing that? It's the law. You have to have the door open so anybody that comes there can get in. And Mr. Cogley did that even though there were only 4 of us there. And my father told me a long time ago that the character of a person is defined by what he does when nobody watches. And I think that is a perfect example of what people are doing. We're still doing business in the city of Elgin, and we're still following the rules. We're doing things the way that they need to be done, and we're doing them the right way.
That's wonderful. Behind the scenes with Mayor David
Behind the
company.
scenes.
I like it. We appreciate that. And a lot of cities are struggling right now, but financially, you're quite strong. Elgin's quite
We're
strong.
doing well, and it's because of our diversified revenues, and also some of the decisions that were made 20 years ago. I've said publicly before, the best decision that a city council ever made in the city of Elgin was to not use riverboat funds to pay for personnel. That's paid us dividends. It's paying us dividends right now. We're not going to threaten to lay anybody off because the casino's closed. We're getting $0 from the casino. It's shut off. When they close the casino, we're getting nothing. And that's pretty important to us. That's $10 million. But we don't use that. We don't use that for personnel. We use it for special projects. And we may be moving some of the, I call it moving the beans around a little bit, and how we fund some of the projects. We have some street projects that we're going to be funded out of casino money, but we're going to still do the projects. The money will just come from a different revenue source within the city.
Well said, Bean Counter David Captain on that. And our monument to the Grand Victoria, of course, the police facility, our shopping center, Elgin, and the library.
Those are the kind of things, exactly. Those are things that were done with casino money, you know, and it's really, it's worked out very well for us. Other communities haven't made that haven't made that good decision yet, and that's what's really stressing them.
You're still endorsing, as we get nearly running out of time here, a special edition right here with Mayor David Captain. You endorse walking the parks. The park, you can't play on the playground, but you want folks out.
Absolutely, and I think we need to reinforce that. The state of Illinois just recently started to do a soft opening on the state parks, and I think that's a good thing. It's getting people outside, and as part of the governor's directive, it's been going on for a long time. We've closed our playgrounds, but the parks are open, so people can walk. You can't play soccer. You cannot play basketball. You can't do those kind of things where it becomes, you can't picnic, but you can walk. 2 people at a time if you're in the same family. We don't encourage crowds of people to walk. Obviously, that's not something that's acceptable. You have to maintain the 6 feet. And Jeff and I can.
I can't reach it.
We're at 6 feet.
Not even close.
And well, we're maintaining the 6 feet, so we still encourage people to get out. I do encourage you to get out. We've just recently had, the governor has opened the garden centers. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And you still have to maintain the 6 feet social distancing in the garden centers. But boy, oh boy, what a good time to get out and maybe get some flowers. maybe if your children are at home and you got a little garden space, maybe go out and plant some lettuce or some radishes, something like that, that they can get excited about and see, this is springtime in Elgin, and let's take a look at doing those kind of things, and let's talk about the future a little bit as well.
Now you have a green thumb. There are folks walking to all the parades, like a Maddie Hayes. They're trying to walk to every Elgin parade, walk through it.
There
So
we
it's kind
go.
of a fun
And it's a good thing, you know. And the forest preserves in Kane County are still open. You can also get in the car, take a look at some of the forest preserves, maybe that you've never seen before.
for all those Elgin parks. As we nearly run out of time here, everybody involved, the city, the fire department, police department involved with those great parades where we've gone to every neighborhood. Isn't that fun?
Yes, exactly. And it gives people a chance to get outside. They came through our neighborhood. The kids got out. They were having a good time waving at people. And we saw people from Public Works, police, fire.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Excuse me. And they enjoy it as well. I think get out and get people outside. There's going to be a continuing program this summer to do those kind of
Those are
things.
fun.
And get
saw an
people
Elgin
out.
sweeper in one of the parades recently, so.
There we go. We're
Can't
trying to
move.
get a little bit of everything out.
when I do that. Well, we appreciate all your time. Anything else that we leave out, sir?
No, I think that's, let's follow what the governor says. Let's follow what the city of Elgin, what's at thecityofElgin.org, and those are the kind of things that we'll be trying to do here for the next 30 days. And hopefully we'll start to get into the point where we'll see businesses start to go into a soft opening and we can get back to a little bit more of a normal lifestyle.
With everyone staying at home, tell me, your home life is good with that. You're always involved with something at home, aren't you?
Oh
can
yeah,
stay there with
and
no
I
problem.
still do a lot of conferencing on Zoom, things like that.
You're on the computer, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I do that, or I do them by telephone, and I think that may be something that comes out of this. That becomes. I've had comments back from people that they're seeing attendance more at meetings because
yeah.
people can call in.
Sure.
They don't have to drive, and I think that's that may be something that an unintended consequence or unintended benefit that comes out of this kind of a sad situation.
What do you miss most about normal life? What do you miss most?
Oh, it's certainly about getting out and seeing people,
Yeah,
and you know, I go to a lot of events. I haven't had a ribbon cutting or those kind of things, and I had to cancel some things. And one of the things that's going to be canceled for me is Garfield School is the first week in May,
yeah, that's always
and
good.
we have some of those ceremonies that I really enjoy going to, and we just won't be able to do them because of the social distancing and
That's wonderful.
the problems.
Well,
So
you've done well. And also, he told me confidentially he misses the Cubs, don't you?
I do, and I really do miss that. I miss sports, and I think that you know, that was always the beginning of spring for me when opening day. And I'm probably pretty happy. And as you've heard the story it's been on Facebook, the Cubs haven't lost yet, so that's a good thing.
And they haven't lost a game. The Cardinals haven't won any.
Exactly.
That's your standard line.
We're tied for first.
Well, Mayor David Captain, we appreciate all the information there. We appreciate you being running the city as well as it can be this time.
We're doing the best we can do, Jeff, and we want everybody to stay safe. I want to be back here with you the beginning of next month and with Jeff, and I think that's what we all should be looking forward to, and we're looking forward to the future.
All right, as we close, let's put our mask on, can we? There's our
Let's
mask
do
right
that.
Here. We slide right on like that, we cover up, and we have our mask. All right, David
We're ready to
Captain,
go.
Beautiful. A Larkin Royal you are right
That's
there.
right.
And my mask right here. We slip this on very easily. I have to make it work on it. There we go. But we're going to get out of here. Mayor, thanks a lot. That's
Thank
our
you,
special
Jeff.
right here from City Hall. Mayor David Captain, yours truly. Don't forget your masks. In this story, Larkin class of 2018 basketball star Jalen Shaw tells us how he chose St. Bonaventure to continue his studies and basketball.
I ended up at St. Bonaventure. It was around a little late in the recruitment, but it was the best choice I had. I had a lot of other recruiting by like University of Evansville, Ball State, offers from Cleveland State, Florida International University, San Jose State. Yeah, I had a little decent offer from out there.
So what drew you to St. Bonnie?
St. Bonnie, one thing I always wanted to do was go to New York, and that's like one of my favorite places. Like, I love the people accents. I just love the energy like from New York, and that was the best choice for me to go to the upper level from there. So going there, I'll be the tallest and the biggest person there, and hopefully they will develop my body to like a different style. I'll be able to stronger, strength wise, condition wise. And hopefully, you know, by the end of the time I'm there, by the end of the time I'm from St. Bonnie's, I'll be going pro somewhere.
What?
Yes, sir. I'm doing a lot of online schoolwork. That's the only way we could be able to, we're able to do school right now. Training closed and St. Bonaventure's just closed in New York. They're in a state of emergency right now, so I won't be able to take any classes out there. So I'm just doing online classes for right now and the summer classes.
Let's talk about your Larkin days. That fourth place finish in 2018 was wonderful, wasn't it?
Very wonderful. It was just a blessing to like be able to go to state, and you know we haven't been there like 50-some years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the teammates and the chemistry that we had. It was a blessing to go to state.
That's great. When you got off the bench, when you got off the bus, I should say, you got off the bus and you had the trophy in your hand. That was fun, wasn't it?
Very. You guys was there. Everybody was there to support us, even if we was in fourth place. It was a wonderful experience, and I'm very thankful for the teammates that I had and Coach Carter. He's always been like a father figure to me. So you know, he's always been there since day one, freshman year. He's 8th grade. He's always been looking at me, so he believed in me, and you know, it feels good to be back in your hometown, of course. But like, you know, once I be going to New York, it's gonna be a very different demeanor, very different. Like, it's very different, you know. From Elgin, it's like a pretty decent town to New York. You know, that's a big step right there.
I'm JADEN Henderson. I chose ECC to further my academic and basketball career. I would say that I chose ECC because, I mean, Coach Reed plays a big part of it. He's the head coach, but I mean, he works at my school, and towards the end of my senior year, we would see each other in the hallway, say what's up. I really didn't know him like that. I didn't really have a bond, you could say. But I mean, I would go up to his room, we would talk basketball, talk the culture, and he would just talk to me about the previous players and stuff. I'm familiar with, Elgin. I grew up out here. My whole family's from out here. My defense, it's always been there. That's what my dad implies into me. But scoring, I just say I got to work on it every day. Just like the little stuff, dribbling, working on my shot, and then transfer it to the game.
Tell me what your dad, Jesse Henderson, has meant to you.
That's my rock. That's my everything. Ever since a young kid, you know, he's known that I had a special talent. He's always been in my head about grades, defense. That's his biggest thing, and just use all of his accolades as a platform, and hopefully I can make a name for myself.
And let's find out how the Light Up the Day parades that have traveled through almost every Elgin neighborhood came about and why.
You know, I think this has meant a lot, and it's not only meant a lot to the city of Elgin, I think it's meant a lot to the police officers and firefighters and first responders that are out there as well. It's we thrive with our engagement here in Elgin, and it's just one way, you know, we're trying to get through these times together. We're all in this together, and I think that it's brought joy to the community and also joy to the officers.
Hi, Steve THOREN here, and on behalf of the Elgin Patriotic Memorial Association, I wanted to report that there will be a Memorial Day program this year, but it will be an abbreviated one. Certainly not a formal presentation with multiple people due to social distancing guidelines, but Elgin will not forget the importance of what this day means. A day that so many people gave their lives so that we may live in this land of the free. That's what Memorial Day is. This year at Bluff City Cemetery at the GAR Monument, there will be a drive-by opportunity for you to pay your respects. There'll be some wreaths placed here earlier that morning. There'll be signs directing you up to this monument through the cemetery. Pause briefly, pay your respects, do not exit your vehicle, and then you may exit. It'll be streamed on Facebook and other outlets as well. And please share with your fellow man so that all may pay tribute on this special day. Thank you for your time, stay safe, and happy Memorial Day.
You can learn more about the information you saw here in Elgin today or about city services, programs, and events by going to the Elgin website at www.cityofelgin.org. And now the City of Elgin has a 311 contact center. Elgin 311. Call, click, connect by calling 311, the city's information and request resource. Elgin Today was produced for the City of Elgin by One Source Productions. I'm Jeff Myers. Thanks for watching Elgin Today.